Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Fifi and Gigi's Tarot Readings. Taurus, thank you so much for joining me. You're doing absolutely amazing. Let's get started. So we're going to be looking at, will they reach out? So this is perfect if you're in a no contact situation and you're wondering about, a particular someone. Will they reach out? The question is, what's their intentions? So let's get started, Taurus. As I just quickly shuffle these cards, just a quick announcement. I am open for personal tarot readings. So if you do have a question, a concern, you want guidance, you want clarity, of course you can send me through your questions. I'll be more than happy to do your tarot reading. Our Master Tarot course is also available, still at a discount. So take advantage if you do want to improve your skills, learn tarot. Doesn't matter your level of experience. Fifi and we teach you everything. And we also have our love guide. Our love guide teaches you everything that you need to know how to do personal love tarot readings. We give you tips and tricks, how to read the cards upright, reversed, and also how to do a spread. So check it out. That's available at the moment for only $11.99. Okay, so let's get started, Taurus. Will they reach out? So behind the deck, we do have the Five of Cups, the Seven of Wands, but also the Judgment card. I feel like you're in a position where you're judging what has happened. What is the current circumstances? I feel that for you, Taurus, you've had to really stand up for yourself because there's been a lack of support. Even with the Five of Cups, this is showing the energy of regret. Oh, I regret meeting this person, or I regret saying this. I wish I said this instead. I wish I did that. I wish I said this. You know, this is a card of mourning, but we also have the Seven of Wands. Even with the Seven of Wands, it shows that, we've got to constantly stand up for ourselves. We're constantly being poked. We're constantly being triggered here. And we are judging this situation. We are currently judging everything that has happened to this very moment. So Taurus, you have, beautiful, the Ten of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and also the Nine of Wands. So Taurus, just looking at your energy on its own, you're not asking for a lot, Taurus. You're not. All you want is just emotional abundance, emotional happiness. You're happily ever after. And I do definitely feel that once upon a time, you actually did have that with this person. It was beautiful. It was fun, playful, innocent. And you're still holding on to that. You're still holding on to those beautiful memories also because you do miss that. You want that emotional abundance. Your person, however, has the Wheel of Fortune. What do they want? What's their energy towards you? Well, they want the relationship to start to move. That's what they want. They would love it if things would just start to move and be able to be on top of the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is also about divine timing too. Everything has to fall into place. Everything, in its own time needs to develop and needs to unfold. But do they want to reach out anytime soon? No, they don't, because of the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands that we're seeing here, the wounded soldier, the wounded warrior, someone that is feeling perhaps very defensive, very on guard towards you, Taurus. That they're keeping the distance from you as much as they would love the relationship to start moving forward. And I almost feel like because it is next to the Nine of Wands, they had this hope, but was it just false hope? Was it something superficial here? So even with the Nine of Wands, they have their guard up, but they're not giving up on love. They're not giving up on love. Sometimes even with the Nine of Wands can show, not always, but it can also show we were dealing with someone that was jealous of us. Perhaps Taurus, you were going ahead in life. Things were just working out, but things were not working so much with your other person. Interesting. Yeah. So what do we know about their intentions? Yeah, they're very indecisive at the moment. Should I reach out or let it go? What should I do? Should I reach out or let it go? It is the card of indecision. the waves behind does show that there are rough emotions coming in and out. So they are feeling a little bit overwhelmed when it comes with emotions here. And, they're not even balancing on 2 feet here. They're balancing, hopping on one leg and with the other. There is an imbalance here because they don't know what to do. They don't know. At this moment, they're feeling very guarded, very defensive, and they don't know what they want to do. Interesting. The 10 of Pentacles, they want the ultimate dream life. My question is, if someone wants the ultimate dream life, is it realistic? Is it realistic? The 10 of Pentacles, yes, on its own, it's a fantastic card. But their next move, yeah, they definitely want the dream life, but is it realistic? Or are they asking for too much? Ultimately, though, for you, Taurus, you do have the 8 of Pentacles. If this person ultimately, if they do decide to reach out, they are demanding the ultimate dream life. It's going to take a bit of work. It's not going to be smooth sailing. It's going to take a bit of work, Taurus. But on its own, this is probably showing that you're more than willing to work with this person and do whatever it takes. But is it enough? That's the big question here. So let's clarify. Let's understand this more. What do we need to know? What does Taurus need to know, please, regarding this person? Yeah, so the Page of Pentacles has jumped. Also, the 7 of Cups. So, Taurus, you're also thinking about your options. You're thinking about your choices here. And you're thinking also about the lessons learned. The Page of Pentacles is the student card. Lesson learned here. We learned something about the situation. But there will be messages. Taurus, I feel that you're very inclined to message first, to break the silence. I feel like you really want to message this person and be able to start the communication. Because I feel like, because you do have the 7 of Cups, you're probably thinking, should I text them? Should I call? Or should I DM them through social media? What should I do? The Wheel of Fortune. What do we have? So we do have the 6 of Cups and also the Queen of Wands. So, okay, we're seeing this energy. I definitely feel if you were to reach out, Taurus, they would definitely respond back because we do have the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is the card of reconciliation, friendship, starting over, something simple. The Queen of Wands does show that this person still has feelings towards you. They still feel attracted, even though that they are represented as the wounded soldier, they still have feelings for you. And they want to be able to turn this around with the Wheel of Fortune, be able to change things. And the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands is a card of taking action too. I definitely feel they will be more inclined to take action if you were to reach out first, if you were to message them first. The Wounded Soldier, please. Wounded Soldier. What do we have for the Wounded Soldier? Oops, too much. Okay, so 2 cards have jumped out. Yeah, so we have the Moon and also the Fool. So the Wounded Soldier has a few fears also. The fear of the unknown, the fear of getting hurt or the fear of being rejected. And the Fool is it's kind of like nudging them. It's kind of like pushing them. You know what? Feel the fear and do it anyway. If you want to reach out to Taurus, do it. Don't be so defensive. Don't have your guard up. If you want to right the wrong, reach out to Taurus. That's why they're getting the Fool. So there is a part of them, not now, because of the Wounded Soldier, but there will be a part of them that they will decide to take that leap of faith and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. The 2 of Pentacles, please. Yeah. Also with the 7 of Swords, what's tension? Again, the 7 of Swords, not the best card. I almost feel like that they may reach out only if ... I will only come back if, or only reach out if I feel like there are certain demands here. Seven of Swords is a card of lying, stealing, cheating. I feel like they have some sort of plan, some sort of strategy. If they do come back, again, they're a bit indecisive. Be careful, Taurus. I'd definitely say, be careful, not letting this person somehow manipulate you or anything like that because, they definitely have, if we look at only just their intention, yeah, they don't know whether to reach out or not. But with the Seven of Swords, it's almost like they're up to no good. Oops. Up to no good. There's a big question mark here. The Seven of Swords, please. Ace of Swords. Okay, there's going to be mental breakthrough, but just give me one card. Interesting. So there's the king and also the queen here have jumped out. I feel like almost, and you need to ask yourself, Taurus, is this a situation based on lust or is it based on love here? What are your expectations versus your person's expectations? Because I feel like, it's almost like this person, if I know you want to reach them, you want to reach out to them, Taurus, but I almost feel like at what cost here? I feel like there are terms, there are conditions this person is setting upon you. Because what do they want? They want the ultimate dream life. They have very, very high expectations. I always feel like, are they looking for perfection? Are they looking for something that's a little bit unrealistic here? Six of Wands. Six of Wands is about victory, but also showing off. Look what I have. Look what I have. I win. Yes, the Six of Wands, it is a positive card, but let's have a look. Yeah, see, again, they're very, very guarded. Nine of Wands has jumped out twice. So just be very, very careful, Taurus. Be careful in the sense that what your person wants is also realistic. I feel like they're trying to seek the ultimate perfect partner. When perfection just does not exist. I feel like they're seeking perfection here, but that's not also realistic. That's not realistic at all. Especially, the King of Wands with the Seven of Swords. I feel like they have, just unrealistic expectations here. So let's look at your last card. Now, with the last card, I mentioned this is going to take a bit of work. It will. It's going to take work. What do we have? Three of Swords. It's going to take some work to work through the heartbreak, but give me one more card, please. Yep. Also with the Seven Pentacles, like I said, what's happening here? This is going to take work. It is. And I feel like Taurus, it's going to take quite a while to work through heartbreak, or maybe even more heartbreak into the future. Because, long term, we're working towards something long term with the Seven of Pentacles. But I also feel that there's still going to be challenges ahead. There's still going to be, let's see, Hermit. With the Hermit, Taurus, the big advice here, dealing with this person, don't ignore the red flags. Don't ignore anything at all because you have grown quite a lot with this person. You're no longer the student. We started here with the student, with the Page of Pentacles, and I know there's a big part of you that really wants to message this person, but you have changed. You have learnt a lot of lessons too with the Hermit. And the Hermit is telling you, is your person saying things that are very unrealistic? Are they seeking too much perfection? Are they putting a lot of pressure on you? Unnecessary pressure. And the thing is, Taurus, you must understand that you're being represented as the old wise sage. You know better now. I'm not saying that you are old, but what I am saying is that you know better. You can, we cannot ignore any of the red flags. We cannot ignore If our person is trying to manipulate us, or if they're trying to seek realistic expectations too. What do we have? Yeah, have the magician too. You have all the tools and the resources to do anything that you want, Taurus. Don't forget that, please. Yeah. See, the magician with the tower, it's not a very, very good combination. It's showing that we're seeing the magician here that's being manipulative, trickery, deception, betrayal. The tower is showing that there is a foundation here that's not working. As much as we try to fix this tower, there's still something that it's going to take a lot of work, Taurus. There will be heartbreak, more heartbreak, because what I'm feeling from your person is unrealistic expectations. I feel like that they have this idea that they want the perfect life, but at the same time, they're also guarded. I feel like they may show to the public, oh, we're the perfect couple. Look at us. We are so good. But behind closed doors, there's someone different. There's someone that's very guarded towards you. They may be, and it's interesting, is at the start, I also picked up a bit of jealousy. I feel like there's a little bit of jealousy, envy towards you. So I feel like you've got something amazing going on. I'm not sure if you're building a side hustle or you're working on yourself, you're doing something. And I feel like it's causing a little bit of jealousy from this person. I feel like there's more of a part of you, Taurus, that wants to reach out. They want to reach you. You want to reach out because you do have the Page of Pentacles. With your person, I feel like they may give you ultimatums. They may give you, in the sense, okay, I want to be with you, but these are my terms. That's really love though, Taurus. I feel like they have a lot of expectations from you. And it's like you have to work very, very hard to keep up, to keep this person happy, to keep them satisfied. Is that really love? Yeah, that's a really big question mark. And this is why we have the tower here. It's showing that this tower, it's not sustainable. It's not solid. On the contrary, the tower shows that the foundation, it's not working. So my advice is, Taurus, be the hermit. The hermit contemplates. The hermit doesn't ignore any red flags. On the contrary, the hermit can see what people's true intentions are. Be vigilant, be very wise. Thank you, Taurus. Have an amazing day and power to you.